The following are quotes 81 to 120 from the Book of Wise Sayings, selected largely from Eastern sources, which was published in 1893. It was by William Alexander Clouston. Enjoy. Men who have not observed discipline and have not gained treasure in their youth perish like old herons in a lake without fish. As drops of bitter medicine, though minute, may have a salutary force, so words, though few and painful, uttered seasonably, may rouse the prostrate energies of those who meet misfortune with despondency. There are three whose life is no life: he who lives at another's table, he whose wife domineers over him, and he who suffers bodily affliction. Let thy words between two foes be such that if they were to become friends, thou shouldst not be ashamed. An indiscreet man is more hurtful than an ill-natured one, for as the latter will only attack his enemies and those he wishes ill to, the other injures indifferently both his friends and foes. A man of quick and active wit, for drudgery is more unfit compared to those of duller parts, than running nags are to draw carts. All affectation is the vain and ridiculous attempt of poverty to appear rich. There never was, there never will be, a man who is always praised or a man who is always blamed. A good man's intellect is piercing, yet inflicts no wound. His actions are deliberate, yet bold. His heart is warm, but never burns. His speech is eloquent, yet ever true. He who can feel ashamed will not readily do wrong. A stranger who is kind is a kinsman. An unkind kinsman is a stranger. The good to others kindness show, and from them no return exact. The best and greatest men they know thus ever nobly love to act. Trees loaded with fruit are bent down. The clouds, when charged with fresh rain, hang down near the earth. Even so, good men are not uplifted through prosperity. Such is the natural character of the liberal. The man who neither gives in charity nor enjoys his wealth, which every day increases, breathes indeed like the bellows of a smith, but cannot be said to live. That energy which veils itself in mildness is most effective of its object. Our writings are like so many dishes, our readers, our guests, our books like beauty. That which one admires another rejects, so we are approved as men's fancies are inclined. As apothecaries, we make new mixtures every day, pour out of one vessel into another, and as those old Romans robbed all cities of the world to set out their bad-sighted Rome, we skim off the cream of other men's wits, pick the choice flowers of their tilled gardens to set out our own sterile plots. We weave the same web still, twist the same rope again and again, or if it be a new invention, 'tis but some bauble or toy which idle fellows write, for as idle fellows to read. It is our follies that make our lives uncomfortable. Our errors of opinion, our cowardly fear of the world's worthless censure, and our eagerness after unnecessary gold have hampered the way of virtue, and made it far more difficult than, in itself, it is. There is not half so much danger in the desperate sword of a known foe as in the smooth insinuations of a pretended friend. Nothing is so oppressive as a secret. It is difficult for ladies to keep it long, and I know even in this matter a good number of men who are women. All kinds of beauty do not inspire love. There is a kind of it which pleases only the sight, but does not captivate the affections. Contentment consisteth not in heaping more fuel, but in taking away some fire. It is difficult to personate and act a part long, For where truth is not at the bottom, nature will always be endeavoring to return and will peep out and betray herself one time or other. The truest characters of ignorance are vanity, pride, and arrogance, as blind men used to bear their noses higher than those that have their eyes and sight entire. It is better to be well deserving without praise than to live by the air of undeserved commendation. He travels safe and not unpleasantly who is guarded by poverty and guided by love. Never put thyself in the way of temptation. Even David could not resist it. Pride is a vice which pride itself inclines every man to find in others and overlook in himself. By 6 qualities may a fool be known: anger without cause, speech without profit, change without motive, inquiry without an object, trust in a stranger, and incapacity to discriminate between friend and foe. Men are not to be judged by their looks, habits, and appearances, but by the character of their lives and conversations. 'Tis better that a man's own works than another man's words should praise him. To exert his power in doing good is man's most glorious task. Those who are skilled in archery bend their bow only when they are prepared to use it. When they do not require it, they allow it to remain unbent, for otherwise it would be unserviceable when the time for using it arrived. So it is with man. If he were to devote himself unceasingly to a dull round of business, without breaking the monotony by cheerful amusements, he would fall imperceptibly into idiocy or be struck with paralysis. Blinded by self-conceit and knowing nothing, like elephant infatuate with passion, I thought within myself I all things knew. But when by slow degrees I somewhat learnt by aid of wise preceptors, my conceit, like some disease, passed off, and now I live in the plain sense of what a fool I am. Time is the most important thing in human life, for what is pleasure after the departure of time? And the most consolatory, since pain, when pain has passed, is nothing. Time is the wheel track in which we roll on towards eternity, conducting us to the incomprehensible. In its progress there is a ripening power, and it ripens us the more and the more powerfully when we duly estimate it. Listen to its voice, do not waste it, but regard it as the highest finite good, in which all finite things are resolved. All that we are is made up of our thoughts. It is founded on our thoughts. It is made up of our thoughts. If a man speak or act with a pure thought, happiness will follow him, like a shadow that never leaves him. Depend not on another, rather lean upon thyself. Trust to thine own exertions. Subjection to another's will gives pain. True happiness consists in self-reliance. If the friendship of the good be interrupted, their minds admit of no long change. As when the stalks of a lotus are broken, the filaments within them are more visibly cemented. Anger that has no limit causes terror, and unseasonable kindness does away with respect. Be not so severe as to cause disgust, nor so lenient as to make people presume. Be patient if thou wouldst thy ends accomplish, for like patience is there no appliance effective of success, producing certainly abundant fruit of actions, never damped by failure, conquering all impediments. As rain breaks through an ill-thatched house, passion breaks through an unreflecting mind. Most men, even the most accomplished, are of limited faculties. Everyone sets a value on certain qualities in himself and others. These alone he is willing to favor, these alone will he have cultivated.